I'm married for 35 years. And after a couple of months of marriage, my wife asked me to go to the grocery store, the Loblaws in Toronto, to pick up a list of 50 items. Count them, 50. And I was dedicated to show I was a really good husband. I was a really beyond the call of duty husband. So I really wanted to get it right. So I spent 2.5 hours at Loblaws, going up and down the aisles, looking for stuff, asking people, where do we get this, where do we get that? And whenever I came up against something on the list, a ketchup, I got 2 ketchups. Mustard, I got 2 mustards. Fish sticks, I got 3 of them. I wanted to show that I was beyond the call of duty kind of husband. I came home, up the stairs and up the elevator in our building at 125 Neptune Drive in Toronto, where all the young couples lived. And I went to the elevator 3 times back and forth to get 10 bags. I brought them into the house, put them on the table, and I was sitting back waiting for my wife to say, you are solid. And as I watched her go through the list, I stood there waiting for my compliment. She went through the whole list and the receipts, and she said, where are the bananas? I said, pardon? I just spent 2.5 hours getting you all these things and 2 of everything, and all you could say is, where are the bananas? What about a compliment? And then say, where are the bananas? You're so negative. You're so critical, I said to her. Is this the wife I married? She said, I'm not critical. I just asked you, where are the bananas? You, Yisrael, you have low self-esteem. I said, no, I don't. She said, yes, you do. I said, let's go to our family Rav and ask what to do about the banana situation. So we did, went to the Rav, and every young couple, every family has to have a Rav. You have to have a rabbi to discuss important issues like bananas. So we went to the Rav, and I told my story, she told her story, and I said, I think she's critical. And she said, no, I think he has low self-esteem. And the Rav said, Yisrael, you have low self-esteem. I said, I do. You better take care of it. I said, okay, I will. What do I do? Go to a counselor. So I did. I went to a therapist, and the therapist explained to me that if I have low self-esteem, I cannot be successfully married. If I don't believe in myself, if I don't like myself, if my wife says, where are the bananas, I'll look at it negatively. I'll look at it critically and say, what, I'm not a good husband? I'm not a good provider? I didn't do the good job? What's the matter with me? What's the matter with you? And I'll end up turning a banana issue into marriage gone bananas. I'll turn it into World War III. If I had good self-esteem, I'd say, I don't know, they just didn't have any, or maybe I'll go back and get later. I did a good job. I got 50 items, 49 to be exact. The 50th item wasn't there. Okay, I didn't get it. I forgot about it. But I won't fall apart. And falling apart because of low self-esteem is the issue, the main issue in marriage. The most difficulty that we experience in marriages is because of low self-esteem, and that's why I've dedicated myself to teach people about self-esteem. And therefore, I went to this therapist, and over my practice, as I became a therapist myself, after being a lawyer for 6 years in Toronto, and being a rabbi for 9 years in London, England, and then being a psychotherapist now for the past 17 years here in Baltimore, add it up, I learned and I developed a system called conscious therapy. I believe conscious therapy gains consciousness. It's the important precondition to successful marriage. It's the important precondition to successful life. If you like yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you have self-esteem, then you can handle anything. Life challenges, work challenges, marriage challenges. In this context, it's like yourself and stay married. And I wrote about this in my books called Conscious, The Art of Being, and my book, Stay Woke and Ignite Your Soul on Amazon.com. And this is what I developed. Step 1 of the 7-step system to conscious therapy, to gain consciousness, awareness that you are okay, you're valuable, you have intrinsic worth and value, and that you are competent. Those are the 2 preconditions of self-esteem. You are innately valuable, you are worthy, number 1. Number 2, you are competent, you are talented, you have resources. Here is step number 1. Work with me here and let's do this exercise together. I want you to draw a big circle on your page, or get a copy of this Wheel of Strengths from my book, Stay Woke and Ignite Your Soul, or Conscious, The Art of Being, or my book, Self-Esteem in the Talmud. It's all there. It's the foundation of everything. And draw this circle and 6 items, 6 sections: intellect, social skills, personality, spirituality, family, and accomplishments or personal growth. In each section, write down 2 strengths you have in each category. Number 1, what are your intellectual strengths? Do you have common sense? Are you a problem solver? Are you street smart? What are your mind strengths? Number 2, social skills. What are your social strengths? Are you outgoing? Are you a one-to-one person? Are you reliable, trustworthy? Write down your social skills. 3, personality. What are your personality traits? Of the 13 midos harachamim, the 13 traits of mercy that God has described himself as having, and he instilled some of those traits into each of us, says the Sefer Tomer Devora by Rav Moshe Cardevoro. Tells us the following: God has 13 attributes, and he instilled in us some of those 13 attributes. I want you to write down here from this list, and I'm going to name 9 of them. I'm going to name 9 of the 13 attributes, and I'm going to ask you to write down which 1, 2, or 3 of the attributes apply to you. How do you use God's attributes in your life? Number 1, consistency. Number 2, leadership. Number 3, compassion. Number 4, empathy. You'll ask me, what's the difference between compassion and empathy? Compassion means I take care of someone's physical needs. Empathy means I take care of someone's emotional needs. That's 4 of them. Number 5, erech apayim, patience. Laid back, mellow. I'm not that one. Rav Chesed, number 6, giving. Number 7, emes, honesty, integrity, doing the right thing, not speaking lashon hara, being careful about doing the right thing, honesty and integrity, truthfulness. Notzer Chesed, creativity with art, music, ideas, putting tangerines in the salad, craisins in the salad, putting tangerines next to the roast beef on the plate. Creative. Notzer Chesed. Nosei avon v'afesha v'chata'a is forgiving, letting go of resentments. And number 9 is v'nakei, resilience, bouncing back. Which of those 9 do you have which describe the theme of your life, the driving force of your personality? Compassion, giving, leadership, resilience, creativity. Write them down in this section. Spirituality. What motivates you? What inspires you? What makes you say, wow? Is it seeing God's hand in nature, in Niagara Falls, in the orchard? Is it voices singing together in harmony on Shabbat? Is it learning Torah? Is it giving to other people? Is it community involvement? What inspires you? Is it music? What makes you say, wow? What ignites your soul? 5, next number, family. What is your family strength? Are you a person who is a giver, a provider? Are you the negotiator, the mediator, the encourager, the motivator of the family? What is your strength that you bring to the table for your family? And lastly, accomplishments. What are your accomplishments? What are your growth accomplishments? How have you grown and changed? What I'm working on right now in my life is when I walk in the house, even though I had a hard day, I strengthen myself and I walk in and I say, hi guys, how's your day? Give me 5. What's going on? And at the dinner table, every single night we talk about and we say, what was the best thing that happened to you today? That fosters positivity, as you spoke about in our podcast number 1 on like yourself and stay married. And so therefore, when you have these 6 mini self-concepts, an intellectual self-concept, a social self-concept, a personality self-concept, a spiritual self-concept, family self-concept, and a growth self-concept. These are mini self-concepts. And when I work on myself in each one of these categories, then I gain a global sense of self-esteem. And I can work on it. And I ask you to work on it. You're not going to gain self-esteem automatically. It has to be worked on. It's a personal avoda. It's a personal self-development process. You have to work on it. And I suggest the following. In your journal, you got to have a journal. Draw this circle every day. A new circle every day called the Wheel of Strengths. May 16th, May 17th, May 18th, May 19th, May 20th. At the end of the day, fill in what strengths you used. How did you act with intellect today? How did you use your social skills today? How did you use your midos, your character traits today? How did you use your spiritual strengths? How were you inspired today? How were you a positive family person today? And how were you a person who grew today? I want you to do this for a week, 1 week, and draw this circle every day for 1 week. And at the end of the week, you'll have 42 items, 7 days, 6 items. That's Saturday night. And you'll do it Saturday night, not Saturday, Saturday night on a Shabbos. And then you will know that after 1 week, you'll have 42 items, 7 days times 6 sections where you contributed, where you made a difference, where you can say, I am an effective, valuable person who is competent. I have intrinsic value and I am competent. Those are the 2 preconditions of self-esteem. I have value and I am competent. I have resources, talents. And then when your wife asks you, where are the bananas? I will say, I'm a good husband. I tried hard. I got 49 items. Pretty good. You know what? I think I missed that one. Okay, I'll get it next time. Or maybe they didn't have any. But I won't fall apart. I won't fall to pieces and say, you're so critical. I'll have a sense of self and say, okay, I'm sorry I messed up. Get it next time. But I have to have this sense of inner strength to be able to say, I made a mistake. Let's get on and move on with our relationship instead of letting self-esteem trip me up. So therefore, work on yourself. And then next time your wife asks you about the bananas, you'll say, oh my gosh, I have. Julie, I found the bananas. What? 35 years too late? Dear, they're not that badly bruised. Never late than never. Can I bring you the bananas? It's never too late to stop your marriage from going bananas.